Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot and today I'm going to share with you my swatches of the Jane Davenport palette pastel sets. They kind of look like eyeshadows and I showed these to you in my haul before. What I've done here is I've just out of cheap copy paper, I've cut out and drew on boxes that will fit right in here so I can see what the colors will be. I can just open it and see what the colors will be and pick out what I need. I found that the ones that came with the palette pastels were kind of completely useless. Like, here's the difference of me doing it on paper versus on this card here. I think this is too slick to actually hold any of the pastel there. So these are useless. The names aren't very helpful either. I got the wrong thing here anyways, but this is called Romantic. This is called Perfect Date. This is called Bouquet Toss. These are not anything that I would be able to say, oh, I need glow, and I would know what glow is. In my mind, that's not glow. So the names are creative, just not terribly helpful. So I don't need the names. So what we're going to do is swatch all these here. I already did a little bit of a test swatch. As you can see, I was practicing a little bit, 'cause I was wondering if I could use a cotton bud for this, or if I needed more of like an applicator, like an eyeshadow applicator, which I'd rather not have to burn through those if I don't have to. Cotton buds are cheaper. So what we did here on our practice, let me zoom you in there. Is it going to focus? There we go. Okay, I guess if I leave my hand there. All right, so I practiced. I just practiced with the cotton bud to see if it would work. I did a Prismacolor test and a Crayola test over it. I also, right here in the corner, it's almost dry now, but I did a water test to see if it would ruin it or anything. Not too bad. It moved it a little bit. I did an eraser test right there. It erases really good. And I did the finger test. It stays. The review I saw where they said it stays did not lie. So I'm very pleased with that, because I don't like chalk pastel that moves all over the place. It bugs me. Okay, so we're going to get ready here. Let's find our white piece of paper. All right, so I'm going to hopefully get everybody situated here. Let's see if I could tilt this a little bit. Okay, am I casting any weird shadows? Will this be better? Let's see. No weird shadows. Okay. All right, so let's get started. I've got my palette right here, so I'm just going to go right across. I'm using the cotton bud again. I'm just going to use the back side, so I'll get four colors to each cotton bud. It's really easy to work with, and I did layer it up. It doesn't come out that nice and luxuriant on the first layer. I did a couple of layers. I can't stand splotchy excuse me, splotchy backgrounds, so I'm willing to put in the effort to not have a splotchy background, but these seem pretty nice. I may not do all of them on camera because that would take forever. Although it's faster than doing a background in pencil, definitely. And probably less hard on your hand. To get it to be like not splotchy, it depends on your level of perfectionism. My level of perfectionism is pretty high, so it's a problem. So I would do 2 or 3 coats like I did on the purple. It was 2 or 3 coats, I think. But with the cotton bud, you're able to really get into those little nooks and crannies. And since they erase really well, if you do your background first and then erase out, you know, anywhere you went over the lines or whatever. I think this is a really good alternative to colored pencil. It does take a little patience to get all the splotchiness covered. And actually, to my eye and to the camera, I can see more of the splotchiness in the camera than I can to my eye. So I'm looking in the camera here to see where I need to put my little bit of stuff. But this is what it looks like in the palette. That's what it looks like on the paper. It's naturally lighter. That's pretty standard for pastels. And I can erase any of that smudginess away that I want. They seem quite nice though. Maybe, ooh, this might be a really good alternative for my doing skin tone. Although you dip it in, it runs out rather quickly. It's probably the cotton bud. I'm not using a huge amount. I'm not making any big divots in my palette. My initial impression is that it's pretty good stuff. I've heard that maybe these aren't as vivid or pigmented as the pan pastels, but they're definitely a cheaper place to start. And the pan pastels take up a huge amount of space, it seems like, if you get them in those palette things that they come in. I have to look at the camera to see where it's not splotchy, because in real life it's less splotchy than it looks on camera. Oh, I got a little messy there. I did not bring my brush over though, so let's try another color, and then I will probably go away and do them off camera and come back and show you the results. Ooh, got messy there too. The purple generated next to no dust. I don't know if I'm just being a little more aggressive because I'm on camera now. I'm trying to do it not too slowly for everybody. And therefore I'm generating more dust. Let's see, it looks pretty good on camera. Like I said, in real life you see the splotches less for some reason. So yeah, they lay down nice. Let's do another little finger test here. Oh, it came off on my finger there. But it's not really. Let's try a different finger here. It doesn't really transfer, like nothing transferred anywhere. So unlike chalk pastels that get everywhere, this seems like a pretty viable option. All right, I'm gonna go off camera and test all these and come back and tell you all about my first impressions. I'll show you the results and we'll see where we are. I'll see you in just a second. Okay, we're back. And so I'll talk about my findings a little bit, and I brought some more papers to do some more experimenting, but basically we have our colors here. So what did I find? They're pretty. They look like chalk pastels without as much dust, although some are dustier than others. Others have less dust, some have more dust, which is pretty normal. I think that's the same as with our colored pencils. So this was Birthday Suit. And I was just doing this on cheap copy paper. I found that they do move on the paper. So like if let's move these out of the way here. Let's get a color. If I put it on the paper, it will move a bit, because I did notice that because I was brushing the dust away and I'm like, why is it getting over here? So even with my brush, this brush, I don't know if it would do it with my artist brush, it would move a little bit, but like I said, it erases. We did the eraser test and every one of these I tested. I went out of the lines I tested, they all erase. There's no problem with that. So if you put whatever you're doing, if you do this first and then you can erase out where you don't need it on your coloring books, I think that would be good. The colors aren't necessarily what they appear in the pans, so you know it's good to have a tester to know what you're going to get. Some appear lighter, some appear darker than they are. You're not going to get... Most of these took about 3 coats to get a relatively smooth blend, and I noticed that in my camera, like to the naked eye, it looks much smoother than in my camera, which is good to know, because I always wondered why my color pencils, which look so smooth to me, and then I get them on my camera here, which is a cheap camera, cheap phone. They don't look as good in the camera as they do to the naked eye. So. But you're not going to get, with just 1 coat, it's going to be very splotchy. You need 2 or 3, even 4 coats to get rid of the splotchiness. And maybe better paper would help. Like I said, this was just cheap copy paper. So those are all your colors. And it's probably best with your technique to do, instead of doing lines, to do just like with our pencils sometimes. I mean, I vary my stroke with my pencil depending on what I'm coloring. To do little circles is probably going to get you the best outcome rather than a line, because if you just keep going over it, it's going to get darker and darker right there, and then it's going to be hard to blend away. So we learned that. I brought over some other tools to try. I did all of these tests with just the Q-tips or cotton buds, but I thought we would try. I have a makeup sponge here, so I see people doing these sorts of things with sponges, so we'll try a sponge and see what happens. Ooh, that's nice. It looks like the sponge is going to get you a lighter, more even coat. Let's see how even that looks. Okay, it's not very even. It's kind of splotchy, but it's not. The Q-tip is going to get you more saturated look, it looks like. So that's nice to know. Oh, sorry, I wasn't in camera for that. That's nice to know that you can get a desaturated look with a sponge. So I may actually pick up some cheap little, the different shaped ones. This is the only one I happen to have at the house. I may pick up some of those to use. And then I brought over a... Make sure it's not dirty. I brought over just an applicator, eyeshadow applicator. Well, we'll be consistent. We'll try the same color here. I mean, this stuff, ooh, wow, it really goes on the applicator there. And it looks like with the applicator, you're getting somewhere between really desaturated, medium, and then with the Q-tip, you're probably getting the most saturated. So that's interesting to know. I'm not sure that I could actually, the Q-tip is bigger and easier for me to hold. I'm not sure I could hold this little thing and do like a whole background without getting a hand cramp. I may have to try to get some of those longer ones. So yeah, so with the different applicators there. We have different saturations. That's pretty cool. I like that. I thought we would try to do some blending. So let's see here. We'll blend light pink into darker pink. How's the transition? Well, I think there's going to need to be some practice there. Let's try it with a Q-tip. What colors should we try? Let's look at our palette here. We'll try these colors. I did end up labeling them. It's labeled on the outside, but because I keep copious notes on all my drawings that I do, I figured, oh, I better label these so I can know what color I'm using. Otherwise, I'd have to number them. But then if I ever do a color along, I should be able to tell people what color I'm using. All right, that one's there. We're trying to get a blend, like maybe if I were doing an ocean or something and I wanted my colors to blend. That was kind of overpowering. All right, and then the darkest color. That's an okay blend. Obviously some practice is going to be needed there, I think, to get the really smooth blends like I like. But probably achievable, I would think. I would think it's achievable. And maybe do it in a more nebulous way, maybe not a straight line. So yeah, that was good. What else did I learn? I'm thinking that these, I don't know, maybe with more practice, but it might be hard to do faces with these. Although to lay down like a base coat and then go maybe in with pencil might be a thing. I also brought over, this was just cheap copy paper that we're practicing on here. I brought over an Amazon book for Adorables. In the back they have some blank paper for us, so let's see how it does on Amazon paper. We'll see if we get the same nice effects or if there's holes or anything like that. Doesn't, you know how your colored pencils leave holes? It's this color here, Serenity Now. And it looks to be, although I did several coats, let's do another coat here. Make it a fair test. So this could be, a lot of people like to use alcohol markers to lay down a base coat and then go in with pencils. This might be another option, especially for double-sided things. Not as, I don't know about the, oh sorry, we're not focusing. I don't know about the quickness. Maybe about the same, I'm not sure. I haven't used alcohol markers enough to know. But you would need to, I would lay down a base, see it's on my finger a little bit, just a smidge, not like chalk where you just lift that whole thing up. But you're not really going to be able to move it much with your finger. But if your hand rests on it enough, you are gonna move it. We'll do the erase test. It erases really well, much better than pencil in my opinion. So like I said, you could go, if you do your backgrounds first, like I usually like to do my backgrounds first, and then just erase out what you don't want, fix it, and then go to your coloring or whatever you're going to use. I think that's a pretty good option. I'm actually even a little more excited to try these than the Derwent ink tints. Just because. I don't know why. They both seem really good, but I'm curious by these, and I'm already thinking I want the 2 other packs. I don't know how I would get them because I didn't find them for sale in America anywhere, but we shall see. I'm going to give these 2 a run for their money. I don't know. One of the things I can't ascertain is the thing looks about that deep. How deep does the medium go down? Is it just like a little surface layer of it, and are you going to run out fast? Or is it fairly deep? There's no way for me to really tell that, so I don't know how long they're going to last. I would, probably some people wouldn't fix them, but I think I would fix them before starting on a page. So let's see, let's play just a little bit more here. Obviously, the more applications you do see with this, it's not very dusty at all. The more applications you do, the more intense it gets. So that's it looks like it's surpassing the intensity of the Q-tip, and it's a smoother laydown too. I may have to invest in some long ones applicators. Yeah, so I like them. My first impression is that I like them. I think they're definitely fixative though, just to be on the safe side. They are pastel, and that's generally the rule with pastels. So yeah, I got these on Amazon. I'll put the links below. It's a soft sell here. Usually I don't say that. I'm probably never going to say it again, but I think I paid, oh, jeez. Okay, got white all over me. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to test the white and see if it lightens anything. I don't want to stick anything dirty in the white. Let's try a Q-tip. Let's see if it does lighten anything. Okay, let's try to lighten our pink here. Well, it lightened it a little bit. So as I was saying, I purchased these. I think they were about $15 each. I noticed they've been in my cart for a long time, and they're always changing prices. So you could probably wait for something better, maybe. The white does lighten a smidge. So, I don't know. Maybe a little highlight there. You'd probably be better off putting a Prismacolor on top of it. I can walk over to my desk and get my white Prismacolor. We can see what it does. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, white Prismacolor. Let's see here. The white Prismacolor seems a little more effective than the white Whisper palette, so that may be a better option than the white. Anyways, that's it for my first impressions. Our swatches, they're pretty. I wish I could find the other 2 palettes. If you have any ideas on where I might get those, let me know. Put a comment below and let me know. All right, so I thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you next time. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.